Hello and welcome back to the channel everyone. Today I'm going to tell you a story of a bank robbery. Yes, not the money heist, but an idiot version of the money heist. This happened in April 1995. So there was this person called as MacArthur Wheeler. He robbed the bank and he covered his face with lemon juice. When the police arrived, they got the surveillance footage camera. He was identified and immediately all the footage was made viral and he was ultimately arrested. When he was arrested and he was asked and shown the footage, to his great surprise, he was astonished to see himself in the footage. And what he said, "But I wore the juice." Why did this happen? He thought that where you are applying lemon juice on the face will make him invisible in front of the surveillance camera. Similar to basically lemon juice acts as an invisible ink on the paper. So he thought he will be invisible in front of the cameras. When all of this came into public life, there were two psychologists that got baffled with the revelations: David Dunning and Dunning-Kruger. They started studying people like MacArthur Wheeler and similar of their types and ultimately came to a conclusion. And what is that conclusion? It is what is called as the Dunning-Kruger effect. It says that people with a low ability to perform a task paradoxically overestimate themselves, the Dunning-Kruger effect. And somehow, if we don't go into the extremes of the scenario, we need to understand the connection between knowledge and confidence. Whenever we learn about a new concept, our confidence immediately shoots up. We are at the topmost level of the confidence, but we are very low and shallow in knowledge. And that person is engulfed with a false sense of mastery. But the more you start learning about that topic or a subject, the more you go into the depths of it, you understand there is more to it rather than what catches the eye. So the confidence level drops down and you start feeling low. The more you start studying it, the more you understand that the concepts are more complex and it requires a lot of hard work. Everything that you have put into understanding that concept and to learning that has ultimately achieved nothing. This is the stage where ultimately many of us lose hope and stop learning. But if you continue beyond this stage, there are those people who start gaining knowledge more and more, and then their confidence level starts creeping up, and ultimately it reaches to the level where you are optimally ingrained and acquired that knowledge, and finally when you have that actual confidence in you about the subject or about that topic, it is similar to the confidence that you had when you had very less knowledge, but this time this confidence is rooted in the depths of knowledge. So whenever we are learning anything, we need to ask this question repeatedly to ourselves, guys: are we as good into anything as we think we are? We need to ask, are we as good in managing money? Are we as good in managing social situations? Are we as good in managing people? Are we as good in reading people's emotions and their faces? Are we as good as we think we are good in comprehension of any language or maybe the grammar of that? How we basically evaluate our skills and ourselves, because it has a lot to do with self-esteem. We end up evaluating ourselves more leniently and ending into a sort of bias called as the Dunning-Kruger effect. It adds to our self-esteem. But whether we need to ask whether this self-esteem is really justifiable, is it rooted in the proper knowledge that we need to have? Because this is going to affect your decision making. This is going to affect your instincts. It's a very good example to understand this effect. Like in a newsroom that we have, the debates that go on every day, we have these three kinds of people sitting over there. The ones that have very low knowledge, but they are cocky in their confidence. They are dead sure about whatever they are saying, and they are very vocal, loud and noisy. And there is the second person who doesn't have that optimum knowledge. He or she is basically confused, so they many times remain just silent because they're not sure whether they have that sufficient amount of knowledge or they don't have it. And then finally you have a person that has that optimum knowledge and depth and understanding, so he does speak out his opinion, but he's very cautious with it. He doesn't overspeak and he gets out with the proper amount of information that needs to be said. But at the end of the day, what happens is the one who is very vocal, the one who is dead sure and confident, wins the popular vote. But winning a popular vote doesn't mean that you are grounded in your knowledge. You are basically making a fool out of yourself and overestimating the kind of things that you may or you think that you may be knowing. So it's a very important knowledge bias that we need to understand, a very important phenomenon in psychology called as the Dunning-Kruger effect. Let's evaluate ourselves for the Dunning-Kruger effect and let's get rooted into the knowledge. Hope that this video has helped you and hope to see you soon with the next video. If you like our content, if the content is helpful to you, do feel like subscribing to our channel and press the notification bell icon so you will be notified whenever we come up with a new video. Till then, thank you very much.